What is the agenda of television and movie programming? Well, it is just that, to program. It shapes our perceptions of society, of ourselves, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable socially. It shapes our thought patterns, how we dress, how we talk, and even how we act. We model ourselves after these sitcoms, blockbusters, and other TV programming. Agenda programming actually regulates our day-to-day life and dealings. How many times have we done or said something because it was said or done on a TV show or on a movie? There could be a bomb that hits a location, and the conversation in the room will probably be about sports or probably keeping up with the Kardashians. Television and movie programming keeps our minds away from the real issues by flying us away to some fantasy world provided via television or the big screen. So why worry about our economy or the conflict in the Middle East when we can hear the latest hot topics from The View or from Wendy Williams? A major agenda for this agenda programming is to normalize immorality, or to make acceptable what was once unacceptable. For example, homosexuality, which was at one point considered taboo. It is now being pushed hard on many different sitcoms, movies, and shows to where it is now culturally acceptable. Normalizing immorality is part of the process of globalization. It is a part of bringing on the one world government. It says in scripture that the last days will be like the days of Noah. And you know what? It is. These programs are full of violence, sexuality, outright, or innuendos of homosexuality and heterosexual natures. Immoral sexual acts, alternative lifestyles, licit and illicit drugs, alcohol, and every other act that does not please the Most High. Why do you think that we have a highly sexually violent, self-centered, and fallen culture? Well, it is because we imitate what we see, and we as Americans spend a whole lot of time on the tube absorbing the garbage that is coming out of it. It affects us whether we admit to it or not. A lot of these things are hidden subliminally, especially in children and in teen shows. The programming uses more innuendo agents than subliminal messages in teen shows. These days, with parents having to work the majority of the time, the children, especially our teenagers, are left to absorb this violent, social, and sexual ideology. The techniques used by advertising agencies, TV networks, movie producers, and corporations to brainwash the masses into immorality are two well-known techniques called classical conditioning and social learning.
Classical conditioning is defined as a process of behavior modification by which a subject comes to respond in a desired manner to a previously neutral stimulus that has been repeatedly presented along with an unconditioned stimulus that elicits the desired response. For example, in Pavlov's experiments, food is the unconditioned stimulus that produces salivation, a reflex or unconditioned response. The bell is the conditioned stimulus, which eventually produces salivation in the absence of food. This salivation is the conditioned response. Social learning is defined as a change in behavior that is controlled by environmental influences rather than by innate or internal forces. In zoology, social learning is exhibited by innumerable species of birds and mammals who modify their behavior by observing and imitating the adults around them. Bird song is a socially learned behavior. According to David Grossman in his book On Killings, 1995, pages 302 through 305 is classical conditioning is at work when one sits comfortably in front of a movie or television screen watching mayhem and carnage while eating popcorn and drinking a soda. Then he goes on to say, social learning enters the scene when a whole new series of role models, such as Freddy Krueger, do not end up saving the girl and kissing the horse, but slashes the girl's throat and the horse's too.